Okay.
All right. Thank you for that introduction. I'm just going to sort out screen share, so just bear with me while I try to do that. Um, and I'm going to try and make that full screen. I just want to check that, is it showing the slides on my notes or showing slides? Yep, can I get a confirmation from someone?
Sorry, it's showing your notes as well.
All right, okay. I just need to swap displays. Is that showing it correctly now? Yeah, great. I just wanted to extend, a warm welcome to everyone, to our new graduate students, starting at Melbourne. I'm Sarah. I'm a clinical psychologist and a counselor from Counselling and Psychological Services. We're part of the health and well-being part of the uni. And, you've probably kind of heard this said many times now, but we're living in quite unprecedented times with the COVID-19 situation happening, which has really, I think, affected, almost every part of our lives as individuals, but also as a society and globally as well. I think I've just been reflecting a lot on, the past 6 months or so has just brought so much change and unpredictability, as well as, disruption to the way we live and the way we study or work. So, I think as a graduate student, starting at this time, I think there's going to be that excitement, but it's also, I think that there will be some unique challenges that, starting during this time might bring. I'm really excited to be here today because, I think it's just so important that everyone knows that we're not kind of alone in this, and that there's lots of support around, both at GSA, but in terms of the health and well-being supports at the uni, that I'd really just like to talk you through, just so that you know that yeah, we're kind of here to support you. So I just wanted to, I think, give a brief rundown of CAPS. So that's Counselling and Psychological Services, but you'll often hear that acronym CAPS for short. And we've got lots of acronyms around at the uni, so I always like to explain what that is in full first. So we offer free, confidential, and professional short-term counselling to any currently enrolled student and staff. And I just want to, I think, stress the word confidential there. All of our, our appointment system, as well as, notes are all kept on a separate system from the rest of your student information. So, I know that can certainly be, one of the concerns that students might have about this. I just want to stress that, that it's totally confidential. During COVID-19, while we're kind of under these circumstances, we offer telecounseling appointments via Zoom. That's how we're kind of delivering counselling at the moment. You can book a first-time appointment on the day or on the next day, and I really encourage people just to pop onto our website, and you can make an online booking there. Or if you don't want to do that, you're still also welcome to call us, and I've just got our number on there. And currently I know there are appointments available, but I just want to just say that if you ever find yourself having trouble getting an appointment, I always encourage you to give us a ring. Because then, we can arrange for a counsellor to give you a brief phone call on the same day to kind of work out what the options are. So, please, don't stress if you're kind of finding it difficult to make an appointment. Just give us a call, and we'll try to sort that out. So, as I said, we offer short-term counseling, but part of coming to counseling is also, kind of working out, making sense of what's happening. And of course, if, it's indicated or you feel like you're needing more longer-term support, it's our role to kind of help facilitate that process to, to organize referrals or to help you link in with, if it's a specialist or if you're needing kind of longer-term support. So that's the individual counseling portion of of the service. I also wanted to flag that CAPS can provide support for situations, that might need urgent attention from a mental health professional during business hours, but it's also good to be aware that you can contact the university's after hours mental health crisis support service for mental health support and advice if you need it outside of business hours, including 24 hours on weekends and public holidays. So, that's the number for our after hours mental health crisis support service. This is relatively new, so I just thought I'd really emphasize that this option, we've really tried to expand our support, especially during, these challenging times for a lot of people. Moving along, individual counselling is, not the only component of what we do at CAPS. We also have, a bunch of psychological services that we provide to the university community, and that includes workshops or webinars, as we can't have in-person workshops now. So webinars, mental health training, and online resources that you'll find on our website. So those are just some of the things that we do under psychological services. But a big part of it is this range of free workshops on personal development, mental health and well-being issues, and mental health first aid training, as I mentioned before. So currently all of our workshops are offered in webinar or meeting format via Zoom. And for the full description of all of our workshops, including registration and stuff, I've just put the URL to our website down there. And some of our webinars are progressively kind of offered throughout the semester. So I just encourage you to keep checking back on the page, for new ones that might come out during the semester. I just thought I'd highlight a few of the series that we offer, in case that can be, something that you'd be interested or that might be helpful for you to want to come along. So, this is our Looking After Your Mental Health and Wellbeing webinar series. And we've really tried to pick, topics that, students have either kind of themes we've heard from counselling or things that students have told us that they're finding challenging or that they're interested in working through, particularly under, lockdown and pandemic times. So you'll see that, these are things like managing change and uncertainty, which is the first one that's coming up next week. But there's also stuff around, how do I navigate healthy relationships during this, really extraordinary time, particularly around loneliness and connection. And there's also a whole bunch around, managing stress and anxiety. How can I think in a more helpful way to, how do I be kind to myself during this time, and how do I stay effective even though, all this is going on. So that's our mental health and wellbeing webinar series. We also have a series that focuses on developing psychological factors, that can affect study and productivity. And so these are particularly strategies that can enhance your study and learning experience. So, really popular ones that students, come along for are things like overcoming procrastination or dealing with exam anxiety or how to improve my concentration. So that's also another series that we do. I just wanted to flag that, I think it's really natural and will, and a really human response for stress and anxiety to kind of be elevated during this time. So we've got lots of anxiety management programs on offer, one particularly related to social anxiety, and another one that we call Breakthrough from Anxiety. Now, this is not so much a webinar, but more of a group type of program where with a smaller group of people, we work together over several sessions to, connect with each other, but also kind of learn and practice together a whole range of strategies around how to manage anxiety effectively. Currently, I think we're full for August and September, but this is one of the group programs that you'll see more dates being offered kind of progressively through the semester. So I still encourage you to check back onto our workshop page. We'll be releasing the September registration soon. We also have mindfulness programs, and I think, again, this can be really helpful during this time when, when you're stressed and anxious, that, our mind often tries to take us, into a future that we can't control. And so mindfulness is all about, I think, being able to train our attention to really kind of stay in the present, and to kind of ground ourselves in right now, what is effective to kind of do right this minute, and also cultivating, a sense of kindness and curiosity towards ourselves, which can really help with managing stress in the long term, as well as improve our focus. So we've got two types of mindfulness programs. One is, a really casual kind of drop-in sort of session every Wednesday and Friday at 12 to 12:30, I believe is the time. So you can just drop in at lunchtime during a break, and one of our lovely counselors will guide you through a guided meditation practice at that time. So, really encourage you that it can be a good way to sort of build a regular time in your week to learn about mindfulness, and kind of embed that in your routine. But for people who are interested in kind of a more in-depth, practice of mindfulness, we offer a particular group for graduate researchers, which spans 6 weeks. Again, we've just filled numbers, but new dates will kind of be released. So yeah, these programs are quite popular. So just please keep checking back on our page for new dates to be released. We've also got international student programs that I wanted to flag. And again, during these unusual times, I think there definitely can be added complexities for our international student community, with travel restrictions and other complications. So our international student counselor runs these particular webinars. And again, we've really tried to focus these topics on what international students have told us is important and kind of helpful for them to work through. So again, please come along to one of these if they interest you. I'm almost getting there. We also offer mental health training for people who are interested in learning skills to be able to either recognize, someone in their life who might be experiencing mental health problems or in crisis. And we do this through our mental health first aid courses. And we have both offerings for students as well as for staff, because I'm mindful that some graduate students might be staff members as well. So all of this information is on our website, but pretty much we've moved these courses to be a blend of e-learning as well as of instructor-led video conferencing sessions. So, and that's an accredited course by Mental Health First Aid Australia. Some of our counsellors are accredited to run this training offered by them. So I just encourage you to check on there, if you're interested in kind of building up those skills and confidence, if you're wanting to support people in your life who might be experiencing mental health problems or crises. Very finally, this is a screenshot of our website, and you'll be able to find lots more information, as well as online resources like tip sheets, recommended external, mental health and wellbeing websites or apps on our website. So really encourage you to, go on there, have a browse. You can explore that. And I think that's officially kind of what I have to say for today, but I'm really happy if there were particular questions
I
about
have a
CAPS.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you are a clinical psychologist, what's some advice that you can say to some students that have never needed counseling before, but feel a little
Mm.
embarrassed accessing those services now?
Yeah, look, I think, what we like to say at CAPS is, no problem, I guess, is too big or too small, in a sense that, as counselors, our job is, around, I think, really kind of making a space for people to listen to what might be happening in your life, maybe help you make some sense of understanding, what might be some of your thoughts, feelings, or why you react to things in a particular way, and then really kind of focusing on developing adaptive kind of life skills to help you through your studies or through other things that might be happening in your life. So, what I always like to say is that, not to wait till problems get worse, before coming to see a counselor. And often, the worst that can happen is that, that you come in and we go, hey, that's actually a really normal, natural way to respond to this as a human being. And look, here are some things that, generally can be helpful, or come along to this, webinar to find out more about this, how you can build skills in this particular area. So that's the worst that can happen. If, and so even if you're not sure, it still can be really helpful to kind of check in with a counselor, and we'll help direct you to the kind of level of help that you might need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Professional advice from a healthcare professional. That sounds exactly, what some students need at the moment. Do we have any other questions from our audience and participants? If not, I'll just give you about 10 seconds.